What's up, guys? Got another UFC video here today. It's going to be on the UFC Fight Night card, LINEKER vs DODSON. So let's go ahead and move on here to the FS2 Prelims. I already done a video on the Fight Pass Prelims. You guys can check that out on my channel. Yeah, check out those picks. Let me know what you guys think about those. But let's go ahead and get started here on the FS2 Prelims. We got 4 fights. First fight on FS2, we got Keita Nakamura against Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. So we got a grappler versus striker matchup pretty much. Nakamura obviously being the grappler and Elizeu being the striker here. So Nakamura here is coming off, I think, is it back-to-back submission wins, or well, I know he's coming off a submission win for sure though against Kyle Noke. Let's go ahead and check this out. Yeah. Oh yeah, he lost that Tom Breeze fight, but he didn't do too bad in that fight. But before that Breeze fight, he beat Li Jing Liang by submission also. But this guy was able to tap out Kyle Noke in the second round by submission. So this guy could deal with other veterans who have good striking, and yeah, I mean, he took out Kyle Noke pretty quick in that second round. So you know, he was able to get him. Now Elizeu here, summary is stand up. His last fight and last win was against Omari Akhmedov. He won in the third round by knockout. Pretty much, Akhmedov has a very questionable chin. Akhmedov tried taking it to the ground because Elizeu has poor takedown defense, but he just wasn't able to hold him down. And on the feet, Elizeu was pretty much beating him up. Against Dalby, he lost a split decision fight. Dalby won the fight with his takedowns pretty much. And I see that happening in this fight also, except not only do you have takedowns from Nakamura, but you have submission attempts. And this guy, like I said, he took out Kyle Noke, who I think is a way better fighter than Zaleski here. So, I mean, this ain't no MMA math type of thing, but you know, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Nakamura here, guys. I just think this guy's grappling should be enough to win him the fight. You know, he has good takedowns. His striking looked very improved in that Kyle Noke fight. You know, he landed like 40 significant strikes or something like that. So I mean, yeah, he was looking good in the fight. You know, he throws head kicks, and he'll throw kicks because he knows if you take him down, that you know he's the one that's better on the ground. So you know, he'll throw those head kicks. You know, those high head kicks, leg kicks, whatever. You know, he'll just throw everything with his legs because he's not afraid of getting taken down because he has that, you know, jiu-jitsu. So yeah, Nakamura here, I think his striking looks better. You know, it's looking improved, and overall his grappling is going to be a little bit too much, and his takedowns aren't bad either. So yeah, I think he should easily get Elizeu to the ground, probably work for a submission, and I think he might get a finish here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Keita Nakamura here. So I do see a finish happening in this fight. I think it's probably going to be in the I want to go ahead and say probably in the second or third round, guys. But Elizeu seems like a tough guy, so maybe it could just be a decision win. But either way, I see Nakamura controlling him the whole time and landing strikes, submission attempts, and stuff like that. So let's just go ahead and say Nakamura, third round submission. Moving on here, Shamil Abdurakhimov against Walt Harris. Shamil's coming off that win against what was his name? You know what? I forgot his name. Let's go ahead and just open it up. Oh, yeah, it's what's his name? The freight train or something like that. Let's go ahead and just check this out real quick. Wrestling and boxing is his summary. Yeah, I counted him out in that one fight. Yeah, here we go. Against Anthony Hamilton. Yeah, the freight train, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, yeah, I counted him out in that fight. I thought Hamilton would be able to take the fight to the ground. He wasn't able to. Stayed on the feet. Shamil's too sharp on the feet. Has good striking and great cardio, good chin, and overall was able to win that fight, pretty much outstriking Hamilton on the feet. Now Warris here, this guy has lots of knockout power. Obviously he's explosive and good striking, as you guys can see right there in that summary. His last fight and his only win in the UFC was against Cody East, who was actually making his debut. A lot of people were picking East. Walt Harris wasn't looking too good, getting finished every fight pretty much. Hasn't fought since like 2014, and somehow pulls out that win in 2016 against Cody East. pretty much, you know, it's a heavyweight fight. You know, if that one shot lands, pretty much going to be over. So, yeah, Harris was able to get him in that first round. But anyways, in this fight, I feel very confident in picking Abdurakhimov here. I think this guy is the better striker. Doesn't have as much power, but he throws a lot of volume. Great takedown defense. Has a better chin. You know, he's more durable. He's mobile. So I see him, you know, keep on using. I just see him, you know, using the jab and stuff like that. The 1-2s. You know, moving well. You know, avoiding Harris's shots and coming back with his own shots. And, you know, even though, you know, he's not a big power puncher, you know, he's still a heavyweight. So this guy obviously still has power. Could put Walt Harris away early, maybe in the first round. But I want to say this is probably going to be a second round or third round knockout. And, yeah, I just don't see Walt Harris winning the fight. You know, he has power. He's explosive and whatnot. But I think he's going to gas in that first round. And if he doesn't get that knockout in the first round, I think Shamil's going to be winning the fight all day after that. So I'm going to go ahead and take Shamil to win this fight. And I got him winning by, let's go ahead and say, second round knockout. Moving on here, Hakran Diaz against Andre Fili, 2 featherweights. Diaz missed weight here. He came in at, I think, 148 or something like that. Or was it? It's either 148 or 146 and a half or something like that. Yeah, either way, I think it was 146 and a half. Either way, he came in overweight, barely. You know, he didn't make weight. Anyways, Philly here, good striker. Obviously, comes from that team alpha male, so his wrestling is good. Has some submission wins also. Diaz here, what he likes doing is pretty much just take you down, hold you down. You know, land some strikes in the top, just kind of control you on the ground. You know, I think he's a black belt, but you know, doesn't really go for submissions. So I'm gonna go ahead and favor Fili here. I just think this guy is gonna be more hungrier in the fight. I think he can win the fight if he stays on the feet for sure. If Diaz does take him down, you know, that might pose some problems, but I could see Fili maybe, you know, evading a takedown or, you know, stuffing a takedown maybe. His takedown defense doesn't look good on paper, but you know, he trains that team alpha male. You know, he's always ever improving with his wrestling. So if he could keep this fight on the feet, you know, he's pretty much gonna be able to land more strikes, do more damage, and overall win the fight. Because this guy has way better striking, and you know, Diaz is a solid fighter, but I just don't think, you know, striking is as good as Fili's, and I do think Fili will be able to keep the fight on the feet for a bit. So yeah, if Fili could, you know, keep the fight on the feet, you know, get to work, I think he'll be able to win this fight. And you know, I don't really see a finish happening here, but you never know. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Fili by decision. Next fight here, we got Henrique da Silva, aka Frankenstein, against Joachim Christensen. So Henrique da Silva is the guy who knocked out Jonathan Wilson, which, you know, I talked about in the Fight Pass prelims, where a lot of people were picking Wilson to win that fight. You know, he was favorite on DraftKings, and obviously overall just a favorite. And Silva here, you know, is now 11-0. Was able to get that second round knockout. So yeah, Silva here is very durable, great chin, tons of knockout power. Obviously, good kickboxing. I think he has some sort of, you know, jiu-jitsu also. You know, as most, you know, Brazilian MMA fighters do, come from Brazil and whatnot. Both of them, you know, if you come from Brazil, pretty much you have that multi and, you know, jiu-jitsu. Now Joachim here seems like he has a good ground game. You know, takes the fights to the ground. You know, takedowns, ground and pound. From what I've seen in some fight I watched on YouTube. Striking, I guess I want to say it's okay. Didn't see too much of it. I think Henrique is the better striker. And I don't think Joachim here is going to take this guy down. This guy's a big guy. I think Henrique can keep it on the feet. You know, Henrique gets to work on the feet. Like I said, this guy has tons of power. Look at that. Kickboxing, one punch knockout power. Multi black belt and a jiu-jitsu purple belt. So there it is right there. So this guy does have some jiu-jitsu, but mostly likes just knocking people out on the feet. All wins by knockout. So this guy's straight finisher. And I do see him getting a finish in this fight. So I'm going to go ahead and take Henrique da Silva. You know, I just think this guy has too much power, too much durability, too good of a striker. And overall, I think it's going to be too much for Joachim here, especially in his UFC debut, whereas Silva already got his UFC debut out the way. So I'm going to go ahead and take Silva here to win, and of course I see a knockout. I'm going to go ahead and say Joachim's probably going to be a tough guy, so second round knockout for the Silva. So let's go ahead and recap here. I'm picking Nakamura, third round submission. Abdurakhimov, second round knockout. Fili, decision. He's also underdog play. Henrique da Silva, second round knockout. So that's it for my picks, guys. Let me know what you guys think about them. Let me know, what you guys think. I know some people want to pick Hakran Diaz. On DraftKings, it seems like a good pick, but for some reason I just think Fili's going to be able to get it done on the feet. While Harris, obviously in a heavyweight fight, he could land that kill shot. Zaleski is the better striker, you never know. He might land the kill shot also, but I just really feel confident in these picks. Nakamura, Abdurakhimov, Fili, and Da Silva. And obviously the most confident pick here from all of them is Da Silva. The next would be Nakamura, then Abdurakhimov, and then Fili. So, yeah. Anyways, that's how confident I am in those picks, in order. So, Fili being the least confident. But I do think he'd get it done. But that's going to be it, guys, for these picks. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys haven't joined DraftKings, I got the link below right there in my description on the video. Let's go ahead and, join. Let's make that money. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Stay tuned and catch you guys on the next video.